The world just crossed a line, and most people didn't even notice. And folks, this one is going to set the geopolitical stage on fire. Less than 48 hours ago, the United States quietly greenlit a project that could change warfare forever, a nuclear reactor on the moon. This isn't about clean energy. This is about strategic high ground and sending a direct, undeniable challenge to China and Russia in the most valuable territory humanity has ever fought over: space. Beijing's propaganda machine is already screaming about nuclear militarization of space. Moscow, warning of a cosmic Cold War, but make no mistake, this is panic disguised as diplomacy. And here's where it gets even wilder. We've got intel on a classified Pentagon war game, simulating a lunar resource conflict. The scenarios they're preparing for are straight out of a sci-fi movie, except they're real and they're being planned right now. Plus, a radical new bill in Congress would fast-track space weaponization, cutting out the deep state bureaucrats who've been stalling America's dominance beyond Earth. And you can bet the establishment elites are losing their minds over it. We've got the details and more from across the country, but before we get started, like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. This isn't just some NASA experiment. This is Project Fission Surface Power, a joint effort between NASA, the Department of Energy, and the U.S. military-industrial complex. The mission: deploy a small, fully operational nuclear reactor on the moon's surface. And when? Like the time this will be completed is shocking. In this video, we are going to reveal 5 mind-blowing secrets in this move executed by the U.S. So, let's begin. I will start with what I call setting the stage. They say empires rise where energy flows. Now, imagine that truth played out on the moon. For decades, the lunar surface was just a place for flags, footprints, and dusty experiments. But today, it's the front line of a new great power contest. And the stakes are nuclear. The U.S. has unveiled an audacious plan, a compact fission reactor roughly in the 100-kilowatt class planted directly on the moon by the end of this decade. Not a science demo, not a one-off experiment. A permanent power source capable of running habitats, mining rigs, communication hubs, all without relying on sunlight. Why nuclear? Because lunar nights last 14 Earth days, and many of the most resource-rich craters never see sunlight at all. Solar panels are brilliant for short-term missions, but useless where explorers most want to dig. Continuous power means continuous presence, and in geopolitics, presence is dominance. Why? Because the moon isn't just a dead rock floating in space. It's rich in helium-3, rare earth metals, and strategic minerals worth trillions. Whoever controls those resources could dominate the global economy for the next 100 years. And if you think this is just about mining, think again. A nuclear power source on the E-moon means permanent military bases can run without relying on fragile solar power. That's 24/7 surveillance, missile tracking, and communications control, all from a vantage point no one can challenge without going through America first. 2. The geopolitical shockwave. Beijing is furious. Chinese state media is already calling this the nuclear militarization of space. Why? Because China's own Chang'e moon program has been racing to build a permanent lunar base by the 2030s, and now the US just leapfrogged the competition. Russia? Same story. Moscow's foreign ministry warned of a new Cold War in orbit, claiming this move violates the spirit of the Outer Space Treaty of 1967. The same treaty both Russia and China have been bending in secret with their own military space projects. Let's be clear, this is not paranoia from Beijing and Moscow. They understand exactly what's at stake. The first nation to secure permanent, powered infrastructure on the moon gains the ultimate strategic high ground, not just over Earth's oceans, but over every battlefield on the planet. 3. The Pentagon's secret war game. And here's the part nobody in mainstream media is talking about. A leaked briefing from a classified Pentagon simulation run late last year shows the U.S. actively preparing for what they call lunar resource conflict scenarios. One of the war games. China tries to land near an American lunar installation, claiming it's for scientific research. In the simulation, that's treated as an act of aggression. The response? Automated defense systems capable of blinding enemy satellites and even targeting approaching craft. Another scenario. Russia deploys a space tug to disable U.S. communication arrays from orbit, effectively cutting off the moon base from Earth. The Pentagon's solution. Launch armed escort satellites to guard critical infrastructure. If you thought the Space Force was a punchline, think again. This is exactly why it was created. The political battle at home. Back in Washington, lawmakers are already split. A group of America First representatives is pushing a Space Defense Acceleration Act designed to fast-track the militarization of lunar installations, cutting through the deep state bureaucracy that's been slowing every major U.S. space project for decades. Meanwhile, globalist-leaning politicians and think tanks are warning this could provoke an arms race in space. But let's be real, that race already started years ago. China tested a hypersonic orbital glide vehicle in 2021. Russia's been developing anti-satellite weapons since the mid-2000s. The only question is whether the U.S. will lead or get boxed out. Then there's the question of safety zones. If a nuclear reactor is surrounded by exclusion areas in the name of radiation protection, those zones could be seen as thinly veiled territorial claims, something the Outer Space Treaty technically forbids. Critics say it's a new form of space colonialism in the making. Even inside government, debates are raging. Is it better to rush deployment and claim the high ground, or slow down to build consensus, safety protocols, and international trust? With an election year approaching, the politics of owning the moon could become a headline war of its own. 5. What this really means. This isn't just about bragging rights. If the U.S. locks down the moon with nuclear-powered infrastructure, it means total control over lunar mining rights, constant intelligence gathering over the entire planet, permanent military advantage in any future global conflict. It's the ultimate strategic insurance policy, one the elites in Beijing and Moscow are terrified of, and they should be. Because once America plants that flag and powers it with a reactor, removing us from the moon becomes almost impossible without starting a war humanity has never seen before. Entering a new era, one where space isn't the final frontier, it's the next battlefield. And just like the Cold War, it's not going to be won with words. It's going to be won by whoever builds, secures, and controls the high ground first. We've got more details coming, but before we dive deeper into this new space race, like and share this video, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an update as we look forward to seeing you on our next video.